The Association of Rape Crisis Centers in Israel says it's found evidence of systemic and deliberate rape and sexual abuse during the October 7th attacks by Hamas on Israel. In a report released today, the organization claims widespread sexual crimes took place at a series of locations across southern Israel and says sexual abuse was not an isolated incident or sporadic cases, but rather a clear operational strategy. The report does not specify how many cases were documented. Hamas has rejected the allegations, a warning the details in the story are graphic. Daniele Hamamdjian explains the work still underway to gather evidence.
As the sun rose on October 7th, more than 3,000 people kept dancing and partying, the loud music drowning out the sound of gunfire. Today, the distant sound of war in Gaza looms over a memorial to the dead here.
The sheer scale of atrocity here at the site of the Nova Music Festival was far beyond anywhere else.
Israeli and UN officials are investigating widespread reports of sexual violence during the Hamas-led attacks. The most daunting obstacle that so few live to tell what happened. Officials say they know of at least 4 alleged survivors of sexual violence. The rest were killed.
Women were found violated, bleeding, with semen on them. We have eyewitnesses who saw women getting raped, gang raped, and set on fire or shot.
Among the challenges in building the evidence, matching witness accounts with specific victims. Chaim Otmanskin is a volunteer paramedic with Zaka, an Orthodox Jewish organization that recovered the remains of those killed in the attacks. He tells us the painstaking work of identifying the dead often relied on photos of distinct features like tattoos. He says he saw a pattern of extreme brutality, including the mutilation of sexual organs with gunfire and sharp objects. One of the women he found at the music festival had her skirt pulled above her waist and was covered in blood. The rest is too graphic to describe.
To people who say they do not believe women were raped on October 7th, what do you say to them?
What can I say to them? There's people who aren't willing to believe anything.
Yael Viask-Wiersman is gathering evidence to prosecute Hamas at the International Criminal Court in The Hague on behalf of the families of the victims. She believes the sexual violence was systematic.
If you have, on the same day, in several places, the same kinds of acts, it's not a coincidence that these acts were committed.
Still, some Palestinians are skeptical, distrustful of any evidence gathered by Israeli authorities. It could take years to uncover the true extent of what happened on that October day, and longer still to prosecute those behind it. Daniele Hamamdjian, Global News, near Raim, Israel.